So we're gonna call the meeting to order at 4:46. And our first order of business is to welcome Nina, our new board secretary. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about yourself, then we'll go over.
Sure, okay, thanks. Hi, I'm Nina Heller, and I came to Brattleboro in 1977, so love Brattleboro. But much of my professional career over the last 20 years was at the University of Connecticut, where I served as the dean of the School of Social Work in Hartford. And had a wonderful association with the Hartford Public Library. We actually put the Yukon Library, merged it with the public library. So when I saw that there was something available in terms of trustee work here, I was really very interested. And I retired a year ago and ready to get back in there. And I also have obviously a background in social work and worked in Brattleboro at the retreat and in private practice for some time before my academic work. So great to meet you all and have a lovely welcome from those of you I've met.
So we'll just go around and introduce ourselves, and we'll start over here with you.
Okay,
Cause you know,
just in time.
because everyone's looking at you.
Jenny Rowe, treasurer of the board. I met you recently. Nice to see you.
Good.
Circuit Kaufman, I'm the secretary this year. This is my 9th and final year.
Okay.
Ian Bowley, I don't know what to say about myself. I'm the chair, it's a bit crazy work time for me. I'm chair of strategic planning, past president. I think I've been there 4 years. Remember who started same time as me? I can't remember, anyways.
Bob Florentine, vice president, and, or vice chair,
Whatever.
the chairman of vice. That's
Yeah.
me. And, also, chairman of, the technology committee. This is my second year on the board.
And Nikki Holland. Hi, this is my 3rd year on the board and I chair the Building and Grounds Committee.
I mean, Leo Schiff, past board president, fellow social worker, semi-retired. Happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Lindsay Balzo, right now interim library director and youth services librarian.
And Margaret Atkinson, president of the board, and we had a nice conversation just a few days ago.
Thank you.
And Felicity?
Felicity Rattay, I can't see myself because anyway, is my recording working or my voice? You can hear my voice? Oh, good. Okay. Felicity Rattay, I'm a new board member.
Great. So thank you, so welcome. Hopefully this will all make more
All right,
sense.
sounds good.
And of course, we're gonna immediately defer from, the order. So that's called order, welcome. Are there any other public comments? No. I have no comments. Anything quick from the board or any changes to the agenda? Yes.
I would like the monthly agendas to include the Friends of the Memorial Library.
I think that's fine. It did not include it this month because the Friends did not meet.
Okay, that's fine, but I just,
So I showed up to an empty room and went,
yeah, I think they're a huge partner.
Yeah, no, and yes, and I think. that-
Who's up next month? Does anybody know?
Not on the top of my head.
There's a document in the.
Yeah, it's on a shared drive.
All right, we'll find out. If not, I mean, I can go again because I showed up and just, there was no meeting. It was very disappointing.
So we have somebody from the board go to a Friends committee.
Okay.
We rotate.
Yeah.
So noted. I would ask if, anyone would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the last.
I did wanna request that we have executive session today.
Yep, we're gonna get right to that.
Okay.
Yes. So, let's do the
I
minutes.
approve minutes.
Seconded.
Any changes or questions about the minutes from last time? I have a copy here if people wanted to refer to them for any reason, but hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Great.
Aye.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a change to the agenda in that, we'd ask, I wanna have an update on the hiring process, and we have to do that in executive session. So I would ask Lindsay to turn off the recording on the way out, and we'll give you a yell when you come back, so we're gonna go into executive, I need a motion to go into executive session.
So
for personnel reasons, second, okay, all right, great, thanks. Thanks, Liz. So let's go, starting back to the top, so, committee reports, buildings and grounds.
Did we lose them?
Felicity, no, she was not.
Drop, yeah.
So buildings and grounds, are anything you'd like to update on?
Well, I am chair of the last meeting, so.
Yeah, I haven't got all the information.
I'm just gonna start with today's GTI meeting. So as I said, if you get a chance when you leave this meeting, the back door might be open.
It is unlocked.
It is unlocked, so if you go out the door, oh, it won't automatically lock, it locked me out this morning, but you go out the door and see the pathway and see the work that's been done, I think you'll all be impressed. The stairs, med stairs are there, the ramps, pathways, everything is there. And Lindsay, what happens tomorrow?
It officially opens for tomorrow. We've sent out a press release, so.
So the back door and the front door will be open tomorrow, and the front door will be open through Saturday, we call it a soft launch. And after Saturday, the front door will be shut down. That being said, right now there's temporary railings out there. It'll be another couple of months, I'm guessing, before we get in permanent railings. Well, obviously, we need the canopies still and the awning still, those will be also a couple months out. But eventually we'll get there. I'm gonna also just move up to the solar on the roof. If anybody noticed, the solar is being installed right now, they started Monday. And that's gonna go on for 2 weeks. So that's a good thing. And I learned something today, I asked the question, well, do we need electric panel or something, well, the solar will actually just feed electricity to the main grid. And then the library, the town will get a credit on their electric bill.
That's good.
I'm, many of you guys may know about solar, I didn't. Gonna move to the front side. You'll see that both north and south of the library, they started digging 2 weeks ago. The north side of the library, I learned they had to go 5 feet down because they're putting footings there. Into, I guess that part, it leads the library to me, it's the town, but the wall will start to cave in there. Like 10 years ago, they had somebody look at it and talked about replacing that whole sidewalk 10 years ago, which, like I said, I never knew this.
So now we're doing it.
So now we're doing, the funds have come up, so we're doing it, exactly, well, the state is doing it. So yeah, so the front door will be closed on Monday, Trying to think what else there is really exciting out there.
Money, you got more money.
Well, we'll get to that piece. The sidewalks, the much discussion this morning because on Friday morning, they're gonna need to close the road down so the cement trucks can come in and pipe cement into the footings. Yeah, and so they were trying to make it non-invasive to the public as possible. Originally, they were talking about 5:30, which, 6 o'clock people running to their jobs would not be happy. So they're trying to negotiate with Valley Concrete on how to do that earlier in the morning in the dark, what's not.
Is DPW gonna reroute the crossing? So now we have that
Well, it won't
funky
be,
crossing. Are they gonna just take that stuff down again, cause no one's even gonna be using the
there's, total fencing in front of, go ahead, Lindsay.
Right, so just people who are walking from one end to the other will still have to cross around.
Yeah. The parking will switch to the back next Monday, so the 15-minute space, handicap space, and some full-time spaces back there. And so you get the crossing walk that's like in front, not in front of TD, the new one they put in.
Yeah.
We need, the town may make that permanent at some point. They like that crosswalk.
It's a good spot.
Nobody stops.
Nobody's, it does, people don't seem to get the idea of like a person in the road means you have to stop right
Yeah.
right there, yeah. Cause you know, they're not used to it, but yeah,
So-
I've had a few moments.
Yeah, DPW has gotten, like the plastic flags that are all on Putney Road, the reflective ones, they got those. And they tried to install them this morning, but from the dew, it was too wet when it adhered to the road. So they have them,
Yeah.
they need to do it when the road is dry. So that will hopefully highlight it even more, that they'll have the white going up.
Downstairs, they'll still have the emergency exit on the side alleyway coming out, so. Cost wise, we'll have additional cost right now, been determined because we're gonna need more stone put in that front ditch thing. Dug, because the drainage isn't that great, the soil isn't that great, so somebody's coming around and said we need more. Rock put in there. We're also to encase the asbestos. There's gonna be extra work there, and so there's gonna be increased costs, we don't know what they are at this point. Do you wanna, I'm gonna let Nikki talk about the money, and then Lindsay can chime in when I've missed. I'm sure I've missed a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe did I miss any context around it? We just got an email a couple of days ago from the state telling us that we received $133,000 additional dollars that were reallocated to our project. Did we know that was coming?
Yeah, if I can tell you the context. So we meet monthly with the state, and 2 meetings ago, not the last meeting, but the meeting before, there had been a conversation about like, looking at all the projects in the state that were funded, and some of them, their scopes changed, and so there was money sloshing around, and and Ann was like, well, if there's extra money, we could use about $130,000.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I mean, she had, and the thing is, because we don't necessarily wanna go into our contingency. And so with the way our numbers were working out 2 meetings ago,
We
it
were
was
gonna,
looking like we were gonna use the contingency. And also, what shows on our project budget is like a generator, and the solar, which is outside their funding, but it's part of the project, so they could see that our project was actually bigger than the funding we got from them. So when they sliced and diced all those other projects, there was extra money, so they said, give it, and I think it's just because we're so nice and pleasant. Charming and
doing such a good job.
doing such a good job. And so.
And spending a lot of money.
So I think that's at the, and just, I'll make another aside about money. I'm up to date on submitting all the reimbursements, of which that number's getting to be big. And I got an email asking about the town's single audit, which is the thing that is
Right.
holding up the reimbursements. And, they're like, Margaret, where's the audit? And I'm like, I'll go ask the town. And I sent an email to John Potter and to Kim in finance, and I've heard nada.
Oh.
So,
this morning, I had reached out to Peter and asked him, can you check on this for me? And so he got a text from Sally, and he shows me the text this morning. And that's where it said that they do have it, but it needs to go to, what is that name I gave you? It needs to be shown to somebody. I can't remember who it was now. Somebody needs to look at it, and hopefully Friday they will look at it, then Kim will look at it.
Lisa.
But then John's out of office.
John's out of the office, and we have a brand new finance director who I think just started.
And maybe that's who they were
Might be
talking
on
about.
That's probably, so it's probably, so anyway, so the thing about that, once that document is cleared the town, then we can set it up to those state libraries, and then the money should be flowing back to the town, of which there will be some
It's not-
hundreds of thousands. of
Yeah.
dollars.
It's holding up a lot of funds for the town. A lot.
Oh, yeah, not just this project, every,
This is one of
so.
them.
So it's like millions of dollars sitting out there waiting for it to come back in.
So with the extra money, so we had talked to Scott about picking up the generator because we thought we were gonna be over budget. So now Scott and I talked a little bit this morning about adding it back in the budget. He's gonna also check his numbers before we make a decision on whether or not we wanna add the generator back. Because obviously we wanna use all money.
Yeah.
If there is a little bit of extra expenses, I think we can pull money out of the endowments if we had to. I don't know what your feelings are about that, but if we did go over budget, say $10,000.
If we go over budget $10,000, we've got sources that are not the endowment. I think things would have to be pretty darn desperate before we would pull money directly out of the endowment.
Yeah, we have other.
Yeah,
We have sources.
But I think with the contingencies and that additional money, we haven't been
And you
going
haven't
over
been-
that
You haven't
substantially.
had huge shocks about like material, because when they spec the
Right.
job, it was a long time ago, so like I think about things like the fabrication of the canopies and like the materials cost.
Some of that has cost a little bit more, but
But it
not.
hasn't been big, so, you know, it's been like, it's, you know, another extra,
I mean, we've had to pay
Ground.
additional for SBE,
yeah.
and whether they come
Yeah,
back
they-
and want more money, I don't know.
Well, you know, every time you ask them a question, I've seen all the invoices, they show.
So,
But, you know, and engineering, it's, you know, if you need an engineer, then you gotta pay for one, so, you know, there you go.
I'm gonna ask a question about generator. Has anyone considered the possibility that instead we use batteries?
Go talk to the engineers.
I don't think that's been brought up for.
If we have a solar panel system in the roof, it can feed the battery. So if the power goes out, my house has batteries.
What's the generator for?
So Scott,
Backup power.
Scott mentioned batteries this morning real quickly,
Yeah.
but we didn't get into the discussion on it. That
It
we
might
ever
be,
looked it up.
might be a more,
It's more eco, more green.
yeah, it's gonna be green and also maybe might be a wash cost wise.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a committee.
Yes, we can.
If you want to,
Ask
like,
questions.
come visit me, I'll show you my batteries.
Do you wanna bring that up in the next weekly meeting, Ann? Do you wanna bring the battery question to the next weekly meeting with Scott, or do you think?
Well, we have one Monday, I can just, maybe show up Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand this a little bit, like, so, a generator apparently is part of this project in case the power goes out. Does the municipal center have a generator?
Yes.
And that's that's a town thing. Does the rec center have a generator?
I don't know.
It's an agent, I think, why?
I'm gonna guess that it might, because it's, it has sort of emergency purposes,
Yeah.
right?
Heat center,
Um,
cooling center.
It doesn't seem crucial for the library to have a generator. Might be nice, but, like, it's okay for the library to be closed. You know, if there's a power outage, like, I don't know, like, do we have to have a generator?
Actually, when we have a power outage, we stay open.
Okay.
We actually have a manual form that when we have no power, people can take out 10 things and we try to get the barcodes down.
And is it also because it's still warm here?
Right.
And it's a public, it's like in an emergency, it could be the heating center.
Right, a generator is only gonna hold for so long.
Batteries too.
Sorry.
Oh, I know.
We haven't lost power many times since I've been here. We usually seem to.
Yeah, no, I worked at downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown loses power, usually. The other side of Main Street loses power more often than this side of Main Street,
Yeah.
but it happens.
It does, yeah.
We got quotes today for 2 new doors for the front and back. I think they're 7,000 each. Was it 7,000? I couldn't open them up yet, I was too busy.
I have to look at it. What it is, the rest of the town, for all the buildings, they have, key cards. And the town wants the library to do key cards instead of actual keys. So that is what that,
Quote was,
quote was for.
I wonder if you actually have that, you need a generator to.
Open the door. Or
Well,
battery.
so, yeah. So I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to Pete, since he
Sent those, I know.
sends those.
Yeah, we can ask some questions about the generator and batteries and where that, what the history of that decision.
I mean, it was
process is.
definitely seen as the thing that could drop out of the
Mhm.
project if we couldn't afford it, so.
Yeah.
It's been that nice to have category for a while.
And even with the extra money, we may yet not afford the generators.
It's possible, yeah.
Okay, great, so that's it, keep on, thanks for all your work on that, does finance have anything on that?
Have we seen the minutes? Anybody have questions? We've got the reports I attached are the final one for last fiscal year and the first one for this fiscal year, and Anna's got a clean set of books and we've reconciled them and all looks good, so. Yes,
Awesome.
A minor edit, Nancy Rouse's last name was misspelled.
yes, I saw that. It's somewhere, where is it?
It's BR.
Oh,
Yes.
it's in the minutes,
Yeah,
yes.
but not on the.
If she gave money, it'd be good to have her name, correct?
Good point. BRAUS.
Is there any other committee that has anything to add? Okay, great. Hey, let's talk about like the library. How's the library?
We're doing okay. Summer reading is wrapping up. We did, add back the board report packets onto the trustee page, so you can see the different department reports there. Matt was able to, start that again, but the highlights, we had 302 children participate in the children's room. So by the end of July, that's about over 2,000 hours of reading that they've done. Our team members were up. I need to double check with Max about that. We actually circulated over 600 teen books this summer, which I think might be the biggest one month that we've had since we've been tracking the teen books separately. The adults, they handed out 269 of the challenge cards. We had a great turnout for our our Dinosaurs Vids program that kicked off the summer. We have 2 more workshops in August. They are both full. So that all the spots have been claimed, and that goes through September 1st. We do have some staff leaving this month. Imani this is her last week here. She's going to be moving out of the area. We anticipate that Pat, who has been our long-term sub, will be moving into that position. And then John is going to move to Florida to be near his grandkids. August 28th will be his last day. He's been here for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years in December. So we have set up our craft table so kids can make cards for him to say good luck and thank you and stuff. John said, I don't want a big deal made out of me leaving. And I said, you can't leave and not tell the children. They'll be heartbroken when they come in, you are not here. So we'll have a few weeks that kids can make him cards. The beginning of September, we're gonna be very short staffed. We have 2 staff members who have medical things that are scheduled for the beginning of September. So the first 2 to 3 weeks of September will be a little rough scheduling wise.
Do you anticipate that we might need to close in part of the
I'm hoping not,
No, I know, but
but
other people get sick too.
the other thing is we do have the windows for the children's room. The replacements for those are gonna be scheduled in September. And I'm thinking if we could line that up with being short-staffed, we could
Yep.
close the children's room to do the windows while we have less staff.
That's great.
I don't know if that'll actually line up,
We can hope.
but,
Speaking of which, Lindsay, if you need help moving books and stuff, when that time comes, make sure you reach out to the board.
thank you. They said, when I first met with them, they were like, oh, you're gonna have to move all this stuff out. And then the last time I talked to them, they were like, oh, no, we can just reach over it.
Oh, well,
So-
All the like dust and stuff get on.
Yeah, but just like drop cloth it instead of, otherwise we'd have to. Tons of books. Yeah, so that's sort of, if those two things could line up at the same time, that would be great. We have done some things that, when Sally was here, she made some recommendations, on different safety issues. So we did, do a few things downstairs, and actually throughout the building. On our phones now, we have a one button programmed for all the supervisors, so staff doesn't need to know which supervisor is in the building. You just press supervisor and it rings all the supervisors' phones. So whatever supervisor is at their desk can pick up. We've also added another phone at the circulation desk downstairs. So we have a phone on the right-hand side where it's the seated computer where staff will like call about holds and stuff. We also have one on the other end, so that if there is something happening or just two people need to be at the desk at the same time, they can both be on the phone instead of having to go into the back office. So that people see that there are two people there. So we've done that. We've also taken down all the stuff that was along the top of the circulation desk. We had a lot of flowers and plants and stuff. All that has come down to help with improvement, line of sight. And also, we are looking to get a mirror that we can put at the seated desk, so that staff will be able to see if people are coming in the door. Because the design of the desk itself is very challenging because the workstation faces away from the door. So if staff is working on a project, your back is to the door. That's the way it was designed. So we're gonna get a mirror there so that staff can see someone's come in and turn and greet them. And the other thing that Sally had suggested was a cash handling procedure, a written procedure. So Anna and Jen and I met and we are working on a written procedure. We've come up with a few things that will change the way we do things. And then I'll be meeting with the new finance director about best practices for some other things that were brought up. So great. A lot of movement on that.
Question, was anybody able to go to community night for the library?
Tara went. We didn't have enough staff to do a table, but Tara went and helped at the welcome tent that they had. So the library we just didn't have enough staff that night to send anybody else.
Right, so we did, so you kind of hit the safety button there on each of the two things, unless are there any plans about, on training or anything coming up, or anything you need support from us on?
We haven't really gotten to that point yet. We've been doing more about like the layout of downstairs. And we're actually, this coming week, supervisors, we're actually gonna do a tour of downstairs and see what things need to be shifted. We have a few different ideas, and then during our full staff meeting, that's gonna be the focus of what can we change. Like we wanna move where the charging station is kept. It had been too far away from the desk, so we couldn't keep track of it. There was a little vandalism to the cords. We moved it towards the circulation desk. Now it's in the way. So it's, we're gonna move it yet again where we can keep an eye on it. but, cause we did find that people like to sit in front of it while they're charging. And where it is, it makes it very hard to get in and out of the circus. So there's a lot of different conversations about the layout of downstairs, how we can improve sight lines. Also a discussion, which I'll probably be coming to, buildings and grounds about. There was, Sally had, made the point that we do have people who spend a large amount of time here, and sometimes the tables are taken up. All the tables we have are very large. They're for 4 people. Very rarely do we have a group of 4 people coming in. So there's been discussion about, can we get smaller tables where 1 or 2 people could be at a table? The tables could be spread out more. There'd be the same number of seats, but there'd be more available seating because you wouldn't have 1 person taking up a table of 4 chairs.
Sounds like.
Are you talking about that on the mezzanine or on the main floor?
On the main floor, mostly, and especially in the tiled area, because that is where we ask people to eat. But we have people, you know, who eat throughout the day, so they're sitting there. It has been an issue on the mezzanine with those long tables. It's been something that's been discussed over the years, but we have yet to come up with a good way to break up that space. Because there's not really enough room if you get multiple tables.
The bigger tables are more space efficient for the same number of seats.
Right, exactly.
Could we put a little sign on there saying, please share?
People typically do.
Yeah.
Sorry. People typically do, a lot of times people will sit, yeah, so, but you very rarely will you have 4 people that don't know each other all sit there.
Yeah.
And then there's also discussion of, we used to have more of like the study corrals, and possibly putting some of those maybe in the quiet reading room. So then that room could be used, the quiet reading room, we do have the 2 tables, but again, if you have 1 person sitting at 1 table and 1 person at the other, people sort of don't want to go in there. So our thought is, well, maybe, we have a study corral down by the photocopier that we've been using for supplies. Maybe if we move that up, into the quiet reading room, people will be more likely to go use that. And then you, again, have more people using that space. We don't want to get rid of the big tables in there because we need them for meetings. But trying to make, you know, more space that people can.
Great. Well, it sounds like you're going to chip away at all these things, so that's good. Good to hear.
We are trying.
Yes. All right. So I will move on, policy review. Remember the policies, yay, policies. So, I promise that I'm gonna do more of a scan and through our records to see where we are in policy review, because, it's been a little haphazard, but our friend, the fees policy, is in the home stretch, to be adopted, and so I sent it to you folks to hopefully make sure that, it could get looked at one more time, so that at our next meeting, we could vote to adopt it. And then implement it, woo! Yeah, there's an idea. So, which is gonna, you know, unfortunately, it's like really more work for the library staff, but, you know, at least there's a policy. So I'm just gonna ask, does anyone have any changes, concerns?
And just remember, if there are any changes, we have to go all the way back. to the beginning again.
Yes. We were behind eye.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything.
It looks good to me.
I'm pleased with the flexibility that it gives us.
yes, it's
That
much,
was well written.
it's much less, so that's the thing, it's always that difference between policy and procedure, and policy should be very broad, and procedure is an internal, how you implement it is sort of a whole different thing, and our job isn't to tell you guys how to implement the policy, it's just to have. It
Set some framework, yeah.
So it's much less prescriptive, and that's good. So,
That's good.
yeah, all right, well, that being said, then we will just, put it on the agenda to be adopted next time. My God, it's. Okay, I'm excited. Is there
Yeah, I'm thinking about our next meeting,
anything?
actually,
Yes,
because, it's possible that the interviews could run over and conflict with our next meeting. So I just want
can we skip it maybe and,
the September meeting.
yeah. Let you guys do your thing, cause we, you know, most years we skip the August meeting, but here we are in August meeting. So we can skip the September meeting, let you guys do your hiring magic. And, I mean, if there's just anything that we really needed to, decide on, like something about a closing or that, we could do that by
Emergency meeting.
emergency meeting or something, but would that work for you?
Yeah, it sounds like it crazy.
Okay.
Look at that.
Does this require a motion?
No, we can,
No.
we're the board, we can just decide shit, you know? I mean, I don't know, if you wanted to make a motion or other stuff, I mean, it seems like people
I
are,
was just volunteering to
it
move.
seems like people are like, you know, kind of down with the idea.
We're good with
Sounds
the
good,
idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
One fewer meeting in my life is.
and that was on the recording, all right,
I have a quick question outside of that. Is the literary festival, when is that? Is that October? It's usually
That's October.
Yeah.
It's, the weekend of the 17th. October. They have asked if they can do, events here on that Sunday, as we have in the past.
So if we missed the
But we'll-
September meeting, I think we would need to vote on that at some time. At some point.
They probably, I'm sure they would like to know, we should actually make, if we're not meeting in September, we should make that decision now.
Yeah, that's
Makes sense.
now.
So, and understand, like, our front entrance might not be available still,
as long as they know that it may not look the same here as they used to,
Yes.
you know.
They've hit some bumps this year, so they are very willing to have the library in any capacity that they can. For that, definitely for that Sunday, and they'll most likely be using this room that Saturday.
Do they need any extended hours other days, or it's just opening?
Yeah, just for the building to be open on Sunday.
And I know in the past with Star and I that usually was here on Sunday. So
And
it starts us.
Tara and I would be the ones who would be here on Sunday.
and would you have permission to comp your time, or is there something, do you have, how does that work if you?
We just flex it.
You flex it, okay, yeah, all right, well, I make a motion that we, offer to be open on the Sunday of Literary Festival for hours, that are mutually convenient.
A second.
Great, all those in favor? Great, thanks for
Thank you.
thinking ahead and.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking too, so Saturday, they won't need us open late. At all. I'm trying to remember when they went on Saturday. I don't think.
No, we've never adjusted our hours on Saturday,
Yeah,
just for
okay.
Sunday.
Great. A motion to adjourn at 6 o'clock?
Ooh.
Let's adjourn.
Okay, thanks, guys.